Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys rugby contest between the visiting Wildcats of Weymouth High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. You know, contrary to some earlier forecasts and contrary to some of the other days we've had this week, we've actually got a pretty clear day so far. Here's hoping it stays that way as we get ready to get this one underway. Those of you who have watched my past live streams here at Skyline, you know sometimes the Wi-Fi can be a bit iffy. If that happens, don't worry. If the video gets choppy, I am recording this while I'm live streaming it, and I will upload the fully recorded version later tonight if the Wi-Fi causes us problems. And also if you notice any other technical problems with the video or the audio, I encourage you to let me know in the live chat here on YouTube, or you can send me an email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen if you're not able or not comfortable using YouTube's live chat system. But of course, I encourage audience participation for any number of reasons, whether it's just as simple as saying, go Brookline or go Weymouth, or shouting out a specific player, or letting us know where you're tuning in from, or on the more important side, if you want to correct me on the pronunciation of any players' names. I always appreciate that help in, doing right by these student athletes so that I can say their names properly, because I feel like that's a good way to, honor the performance they're putting on for us here out on the field. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the rosters coming into today. We'll start with the visitors over on our right, the Weymouth High Wildcats. Going in order of jersey number, the starting 15 for Weymouth. First off, we have number 1, Ronaldo Rebello. And as you know, a lot of times jersey numbers coincide with certain positions. Number 1 is the loose head prop. Number 2 is the hooker, and that is Alex Smith. Next, the tight head prop, number 3, David Cummins. The 2 second row lock players, number 4, Brian Allen, and number 5, Nolan Cushing. The 2 flankers, number 6, Chase Ahern, and number 7, Jamie Hopkins. The number 8, which is both the position and the jersey number, Tommy Kelly. The scrum half, number 9, Isaiah Lawson. The fly half, number 10, Michael Farrow. The 2 wings, number 11 and I think number 15, Ryan Marquez and Sam Farron. The inside center, number 12, Naheem Ridore. The outside center, number 13, Quinn Donovan. And the fullback, who I think is wearing number 16, not sure, he might be playing a different position because number 15 is also listed on there. But the fullback, I believe, is number 16, Danny Perez Molina. Subs for Weymouth today, number 24, Dominic Brancaccio. Number 29, Ethan Shea. Number 17, Tucker McGee. Number 25, Andrew Maldero. Number 28, Jack Morris. Number 19, Michael O'Driscoll. Number 23, Luis Ramirez. And number 30, Yassine Touré. That's the roster for the visitors, the Weymouth High Wildcats. Now let's move over to our left as we see the home team for today, the Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of position rather than order of jersey number for Brookline. First off, we have the loose head prop, number 1, Bicall Hooks. Next, the hooker, number 2, Max Durant. The tight head prop, wearing number 18, Bryce Figueredo. The 2 second row lock players, number 45, Zane Mathis, and number 5, Isaac Hughes. The 2 flankers, number 21, Jamison Young, and number 7, Milo Nygren. The number 8, who is wearing number 8, John Krasansky. The scrum half, number 27, Dylan Hibbard. The fly half, number 14, Nate Lockwood. The two wings, number 26, Benji Brooks, and number 19, Isaac Speicher. The inside center, number 12, Will Engeland. The outside center, number 39, Timur Tunkman. And the fullback, number 15, Ben Speicher. Subs for Brookline today, we have number 42, Jung-Ha Lee. Number 47, Alex Bacom. Number 32, David Perez Lawrence. Number 46, Santi Barahona Barros. Number 34, Frederick Guerriere. Number 45, Ophir Williams. And number 23, Teo Hostaler. Head coach of the Brookline High boys rugby team is Jared Dyke. So those are the rosters for the teams coming in to today. Once again, I thank you for tuning in to this high school varsity boys rugby live stream here at Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. And I'd like to thank our local sponsor for today, as this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent, Dr. Brandon Esch, for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, that is 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. All that information is in the description section down below. This one should be a fun one here today. Brookline coming into this one with a strong 3-1 record. Their only loss so far was, unfortunately, the only other game for them I've covered so far this year against Hanover, which is currently the top-ranked team in Division II. Brookline coming into this one ranked 5th in Division II as of the most recent MIAA Power Rankings that came out on Tuesday. Weymouth, meanwhile, they've been struggling a bit with a record of 1-3. But they are 5th in the power rankings in Division I, in part because the Wildcats have had the toughest strength of schedule in all of Division I boys rugby so far this season. Last year, the Wildcats defeated Brookline in a blowout 55-5 here at Skyline on May 17, 2024. We'll see what they have in store for us here today. Weymouth having a bit of an off year by their standards, as they are pretty typically a rugby powerhouse in this state, but still a very strong, respectable opponent that has given themselves a gauntlet of a schedule so far this year. So definitely not an opponent that can be overlooked in any way. In fact, an opponent to be worried about. And if you go by the fact that the two teams both have the same rank in their respective divisions, Weymouth being in the higher division, on paper, on paper, things favor the Wildcats. But what do we always say, folks? You don't play these games on paper, you play them on the field. So looking forward to this one. We're scheduled for a 4:30 start time, so we'll be starting in a few minutes. And folks, if you know of any rugby fans that you think might want to tune into this one, be sure to send them the link to this live stream. I know that with the Wi-Fi, we're going to be dropping some frames here, and I apologize in advance for that. Nothing I can really do. The Wi-Fi connection out here at Skyline is, in a word, bad. But like I said, I'm always recording these at the same time that I live stream them, and so I will be uploading the fully recorded version of this live stream later tonight to make up for whatever dropped video frames we have. Almost ready to get this one underway. We can see Brookline huddling up over on the left. Got dark blue jerseys with red shoulders and white jersey numbers. Much more clearer numbers to read than the Hanover game that we covered. Some might remember that I got some of the players a little mixed up because they had jerseys that had some diagonal stripes going across the back that kind of made the jersey numbers a little harder to read, and so I got some players mixed up. Hopefully that won't be happening today as things are looking a lot clearer to read. Weymouth huddling over here on the right, red jerseys, yellow jersey numbers. Sorry about that, folks. Pollen season. Brookline is going to kick the opening kick here in the first of two 35-minute halves here at Skyline. Brookline playing from the left, Weymouth from the right. Warriors versus Wildcats. And here we go. Drop kick comes in high. Caught by the Wildcats, running straight up the gut there. Taken down for Weymouth was number 13, Quinn Donovan, out of the ruck. It's taken pass and a quick hit there. Not much progress that time as the scrum half, Isaiah Lawson, takes it again. They keep working it to the right and a takedown there, and we got a whistle for a high tackle. Looks like that's going to be a penalty against Brookline. Weymouth takes the ball. Quick pass there to the left, bowling over a player, and finally being taken down, number 8, Tommy Kelly, with a strong run there. Lawson tossed it, it's dropped, ricocheting all over the place. They're going to call another high tackle against Brookline, so the knock-ons, the knock-forwards by both teams don't matter as they play on here. Quick takedown there. I think that was Naheem Ridore who was running with that one. Lawson takes it, pass back, and a quick takedown there by Brookline's number 5, Isaac Hughes. Lawson trying to take it out of the ruck. He's got it. Quick pass back. Barreling forward once again is Kelly. Lawson, more passes and faking the pass and staying with it, number 10, Michael Farrow. And Brookline applying pressure in the ruck there, and it's going to be a quick hit on the scrum half on Lawson, and they're going to call the violation there, I think against Lawson, because I think he was covering up the ball too much after he got tackled to keep Brookline from trying to take it away. Great defensive play there. I think that was Bicall Hooks on that play. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was Hooks who made the big stop there. As we got a Brookline player subbing out. That's number 18, Bryce Figueredo. Hopefully he is okay, as he was a little hobbled coming off. We got one of the subs coming on for Brookline. I can't see a jersey number just yet, but Brookline going to launch the kick. It's going to stay in. And Weymouth with the ball around midfield as they set up in the ruck once again. They're going to work it to the left, back towards midfield. Kelly taken down. Lawson, another pass, sends it back, and a grubber kick forward. Going to be recovered there by Isaac Speicher, the wing for Brookline. Brookline takes possession. Speicher trying to hand it back. Brookline's got to get it back there, and they do. Dylan Hibbard, the scrum half, tossing it back. They don't make much progress there. Try again. A couple quick passes to the left, and there's a bit of a hole. Barreling forward there was John Krasansky, number 8. Hibbard takes it out of the ruck. More quick passes to the left for Brookline. They're focusing on that left side. A quick takedown there. Brookline running out of room close to the touch lines, and no violation there. Clean play as Weymouth took it out of the ruck, and they are battling close to the touch lines. Got to be careful. Keep that ball in bounds as Lawson starts tossing to the left. Weymouth in control on the opposing side of the field. Running with it there was number 2, Alex Smith. Lawson trying to pass, harassed by Hooks, but he gets it off, and a pass dropped, but it bounces backwards. Was it knocked forward there? And there, it's going to be a scrum advantage Brookline, so I think they did call the knock forward there. Initially, the pass was fumbled backwards by the Wildcats, but then it bounced off Weymouth players' hands and went forward. And the thing about rugby is not only can you not pass it forward, you can't fumble the ball forward either. That's called a knock-on or a knock forward. That's also a violation. And so the ref calls it, and Brookline gets the advantage on the scrum. They will get to put it in. So Hibbard, the scrum half, gets to put it in, as that's what they name the scrum half for. You're the player that puts it in the scrum. Brookline gets it back, not to the scrum half, though. It's Krasansky who barrels forward with it, gets it into Weymouth territory. Hibbard, quick pass, and a quick takedown there. A short gain that time from Hughes. Hibbard, quick pass, and a drop kick there. Punted away by Nate Lockwood, sending it way down deep in Weymouth territory. A strategic play there, trying to play the field position game. Weymouth going to try and run it out of their own backyard here as Brookline trying to pin them back. Lawson, pass back, and a quick wrap up. And that's going to be a penalty on Brookline there. And quickly running on the free ball there is Farrow. Now passing to the left, a fake pass, and pushing forward with it, Kelly. Kelly looking for the offload. He gets it offloaded, but a quick takedown by Hughes on Donovan. Out of the ruck again. Pass, and I think that's Kelly trying to churn his legs there, but too many Brookline defenders had him wrapped up. Lawson, a long pass back, and it's going to be a punt off to the far side, taken off the bounce by Ben Speicher, the fullback. Fakes the pass and barrels forward, trying to hold on to the ball as he got wrapped up by a couple of players. Brookline keeps possession. Hibbard pass, another pass. Krasansky barreling forward with it. Both teams still just trying to get those big opportunities. Pass and a fake pass. Nice shimmy and shake there from Lockwood to gain a few yards that time. But we've got an injured player down, and that looks like John Krasansky, the Brookline number 8. Trainers coming out to look at him as we're going to have a break in the action as Brookline High athletic trainer Alex Jazik going to take a look at Krasansky. He is getting up. Can't tell if he is holding his head. Okay, it seems like maybe he hit his nose there. That is kind of a common thing in rugby. You know, it is a very rough and tumble sport, and whenever you get any hits to the head, you know, even if it's just getting whacked in the schnoz, you still want to be safe and you want to check and make sure the kids are okay. You don't want to mess around with head injuries. So Brookline going to be without Krasansky, at least in the short term, hopefully not in the long term, as he can be an impactful player. We've seen his ability to barrel forward for some quick short gains while the team is on offense. Brookline gets the advantage in the scrum out of the injury stoppage, excuse me. It's kicked back to Hibbard. Pass, couple quick passes. Lockwood, fake the pass, and it shakes off the tackle. Nate Lockwood taking off with it. Lockwood dragging it into opposing territory. He's still going. Nate Lockwood refusing to go down and goes for the offload. And a penalty called on Weymouth. Very lucky for Brookline as that took an inopportune bounce off the attempted offload from Lockwood. But what a run by the Brookline fly half there. Hooks taking the penalty, barreling forward after a juke. Not close enough to the try line there, but Brookline close to the first score. They toss back to Hughes. Hughes fumbled the ball, taken away by the Wildcats. Tough turnover for Brookline there, but the defense going to try and apply some pressure here. The Wildcats quick toss to the left, and they've got the touchline. Oh, a big wrap-up tackle there by Brookline's number 7, Milo Nygren. Might have saved a very long try there. That was a huge run by number 11, Ryan Marquez, as he had some open space in front of him. Oh, that pass knocked forward, and it's picked up by Brookline anyhow. The Warriors with the ball. Hook's going to pass it to Lockwood on the left. Far pass out to the wing. An extra offload. Missed Spicer, and it bounces out of bounds. Benji Brooks, the wing, was trying to make something happen with that offload there. Oh, wait, did they whistle a penalty against Weymouth? They might have whistled a penalty. That might have been a smart, aggressive play from Brookline, maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what I think it is? It's not. No, it is a scrum advantage Brookline. Excuse me. I was looking at names and I didn't see the ump's hand signals there, so I'm not sure what the call was. But was probably playing the advantage there as Brookline was still running with it, which is why we're bringing it back to where it was way before the whistle was blown. Brookline had the ball, and the ref didn't want the violation on Weymouth to stop Brookline's momentum, so waited until Brookline lost their advantage before applying the whistle. Kind of for those who are fans of other sports, kind of similar to a delayed penalty in hockey, or when they call in offsides in football and the quarterback just decides to throw it deep. Out of the scrum, Hooks picks it up. Hooks, the pass, another one. Lockwood goes out to the wing. Isaac Spicer cutting inside, barreling forward, very close. They're trying to push him forward in the maul. No dice. Very close, though. Brookline trying to get the first score on the board. Lockwood, the pass. Durant diving forward, still just short of the try line. Hibbard pass to Lockwood, an extra pass, barreling forward, and looks like just short there. Hooks, pass back. Lockwood out to the wings, and diving in with it is, I believe, Timur Tunkman, the outside center. Brookline with some great passing out to the left there. And I believe the last one to bring it in for the try was number 39, Timur Tunkman. If anyone saw any different, I encourage you to let me know in the live chat. I know Wi-Fi is a little on the fritz so far today, but hopefully that will bear out when I go back and watch the replay later tonight. So Brookline gets 5 points on the try. And now they'll go for the conversion. It's going to be a very far out angle because they scored so close to the touchline out on that far side. And the kick is coming in low and no good. So Brookline not able to get the full 7, but they do get 5 off the try from Timur Tunkman. And the Warriors have the 5-0 lead here in the first half. They have already matched the total number of points that they had all game against Weymouth. And now, as is the rule in rugby, the team that scores receives the kick. The drop kick here is taken off the bounce. Good pickup there by number 21, Jamison Young. Brookline set up in the ruck. Pass from Hibbert. That's Durant trying to push forward with it. Gets taken down. Hibbert again looking for the pass. Goes back to Hooks. Hooks runs into a wall of defenders. Goes down. Brookline going all the way back. They're going for a punt as this one goes straight up in the air off the boot from Nate Lockwood. And it's knocked forward and it's picked up. Tunkman running with it to the left. A toss. And now Brookline making some real headway here. An offload pass. Nice offload there. Gets to number 12, Will Engeland. Brookline with great field position as the punt works out perfectly. Number 47, Alex Bacom, a sub off the bench. He's running with it. Gets taken down. Quick passing. Hughes fumbles the ball. It was not fumbled back. That was a knock forward as Hughes couldn't hold on to it and it bounced forward. And so it will be a scrum advantage Weymouth. But Brookline applying some real pressure so far in the first half. Isaiah Lawson to insert here to put it in for the scrum. Here we go. Lawson takes it. And now Weymouth with the ball. Quick passing to the right. Farrow found a bit of an opening. Went for the extra offload, but it's dropped. Chased down, I believe, by Isaac Speicher on the far side. Speicher having moved to that far side wing. Couple quick passes for Brookline. Durant taken down. Oh, and they call the infraction. I think they might have called a knock forward on Weymouth that time. Bit harder to see on the far side, especially no elevation here at Skyline. But going to do my best. But Brookline getting the advantage in the scrum here. Kicked back, Hibbert the pass. Pass to Lockwood. Pass, barely caught one-handed by Speicher. Ben Speicher, the fullback, with a nice catch to keep the possession going for Brookline. Now this is Hooks with it. Hooks barrels forward, trying to get it back. And it looks like they called the penalty on Weymouth. Lockwood takes it, the self-pass, long toss out. Isaac Speicher sprinting up the sideline. Gets taken down. Brookline close to another score. Can they punch it in? Bit hard to see. They are down in the ruck there. Hibbert, pass. Lockwood misses. Hughes, and it's picked up by the Wildcats. Another tough turnover for Brookline deep in the opposing end. Weymouth now with the ball. And shaking off a tackle and barreling forward there was number 7, Jamie Hopkins. Now tumbling forward there, I think, is Naheem Ridore. Now Lawson, the pass. And, shakes off a tackle. One man to beat now as Kelly gets taken down by Ben Speicher. A big run for Kelly and a clutch defensive stop by the Brookline fullback as they wrap up Lawson there and push Weymouth back a little bit. Quick takedown on Hopkins. And we've got an injured Brookline player down. That's Hooks. Oh, no, that's a player Brookline can't afford to lose. He's still slowly getting up, holding his shoulder. Hopefully he is okay as the action continues. And Teamer Tunkman managed to wrench the ball free there as Brookline takes possession, but they knock it forward, and it's picked up by Farrow anyway. But I think they called another violation on Weymouth. Might have been a knock forward there as we're going to go into the scrum. Bicall Hooks staying out there. He came up. He was holding his shoulder. It looked like he was really hurting, but man, he is a tough player. He is going to sub out, or no, they're keeping him in. He is staying in. For a second, I thought maybe he was subbing out, but no, he's getting into his proper spot in the scrum. Bicall Hooks, a player that really resonates with and resembles the rough and tumble nature of this sport for Brookline. Such a key player. Out of the scrum, Brookline taking off and running with it, and that's John Krasansky back in the game. Brookline happy to see him, but a tough battle in the ruck. Brookline called for playing it while on the ground. You can't grab it while you're lying on the ground, and so that's a penalty. Ball to Weymouth as Ridore, a hard collision, and he goes down. Brookline applying some pressure, but Lawson gets the pass away. Running with it, Ronaldo Rebello. He gets taken down. Lawson, pass back. Farrow trying to cut through. Wrapped up, brought down by Lockwood. Now they're going to try and work it to the left. Barreling forward there, I think, was number 4, Brian Allen. Lawson passes back to Kelly. Kelly wrapped up quick by a couple Brookline players, including Jung-Ha Lee. Pass back, Ridore. Hops over one tackler, now gets taken down by a committee there. Lawson now going to the right, dropped, but picked up. It bounced backwards, not forwards, so Weymouth gets to keep it. Alex Smith recovered that ball. Lawson, pass. Farrow heading out to the right. Got the offload and an extra burst there up the sideline by the Wildcats, and we've got a violation, I think a high, gosh, the ref was explaining some of the signals to me, but I don't remember what that one was. But I think it was a penalty called against Weymouth. It'll be Brookline ball. We got another injured Brookline player down. This, again, just a very, very physical sport rugby is. Kid is holding his head. That was Isaac Speicher, the wing, coming off, holding his head a bit. You know, hopefully he's okay. We did see Krasansky come back. Hopefully we'll see Speicher come back as well. As this one is going to be punted out of bounds by Ben Speicher. As a punt into touch, or out of bounds, as folks might know it in other sports. If you punt it into touch out of a penalty, then your team gets the line out, or the throw-in. Max Durant to throw in this line out. Brookline almost dropped it there, and they're going to call the knock forward that time. Number 45, Ophir Williams, briefly dropped the ball, and it bounced just ever so slightly forward. And so they call the knock forward, and it'll be a scrum advantage Weymouth. Lawson to put it in. Kicked back to Lawson. Weymouth starts with it. Farrow pass, Ridore. Ridore shakes off a tackle, running with it. Offload, intercepted. Big interception by Benji Brooks on the attempted offload pass by Weymouth there. Couple passes and Benji Brooks barrels up the middle. Brookline trying to dig it out of their own territory. Pass back, and Lockwood is going to punt it again. Flips it over to the Weymouth side of the field as it's caught there by the Weymouth fullback number 15, Sam Farron. Farron gets wrapped up by Hughes and taken down with some help from number 34, Frederick Guerriere. That pass back to number 6, Chase Ahern. Now Lawson moves it to the left. Kelly fakes the pass, shakes off one tackle, now gets wrapped up just past midfield. Lawson, pass, a fake pass. Now that pass juggled, but is caught by Ridore as he managed to stay on his feet and got the offload to Donovan. Donovan taken down. Lawson pass. Pushing back to the line is Brian Allen. Oh, that ball almost knocked free there. But now Lawson a pass and a quick cut there. And another quick cut. One man to beat, but wrapped up and taken down by Ben Speicher. A quick offload, but a knock forward against Weymouth, and this will be a scrum advantage Brookline. That was a huge run by Jamie Hopkins for the Wildcats. But that can sometimes be tough when you get a long run. Your teammates can sometimes be so far behind you that they're not able to set up to block or take the handoff for you after you get taken down and go into the ruck. That can be kind of tough sometimes, and I think that's kind of what happened to Weymouth on that one. Hibbard to put it in here in the scrum. Coming out with it, I believe, is Krasansky as he runs to the near side and barrels forward for a nice gain. Krasansky getting down in the ruck, trying to hand it off, but barreling over the blocker. That's going to draw a penalty call against Weymouth, so Brookline gets the free ball here. Kelly just a little over-aggressive on that play, commits the violation. And Brookline punts this one. It's actually going to curve and stay in bounds as they opted not to kick it into touch. Oh, was that an illegal forward pass? Or no, it was a knock forward. Briefly dropped, I think, by Farron. And so it's going to be a scrum advantage Brookline. Brookline's been using those punts so effectively to get good field position. Nate Lockwood, of course, a key member of the Brookline boys soccer team in the fall. And, he's putting that big boot of his to use in multiple seasons here. Whistle here, got to set up for the scrum again. (5-0) the current Brookline lead here in the first half. The lone try scored by Timur Tunkman. Hibbard puts it in. Takes it out of the back, pass back Lockwood. Lockwood faking now. The pass missed, went through the legs of Brooks that time, and it's chased down and recovered by Brookline. Great hustle from Jamison Young. Oh, but I think they're going to say he played it while he was on the ground, or someone on Brookline played it while they were lying on the ground. And so, penalty on Brookline, and Weymouth going to kick it into touch. Weymouth is going to get the line out, still in their own territory here. Alex Smith setting up for the throw-in. And it's knocked away. Great deflection by Brookline, and it's picked up by Hibbard. Great play in the air by number 7, Milo Nygren. Pass back to Hughes. Hughes barrels forward. Nygren's made a couple of nice defensive plays for Brookline so far. Brookline able to hold on in the ruck. Hibbard back to Lockwood, and that pass, oh, a hard hit by Kelly induces the fumble there. And now Weymouth with the ball as they're going to call a violation, a penalty on Weymouth there. And so Brookline takes the ball back. I didn't quite see what the penalty was, but we got another injured Brookline player down on one knee, appears to be holding his shoulder. That's Jung Ha Lee, who's going to be coming off. He's able to come off on his own power, so a little less scary than some of the head injuries we've seen so far today, but still, hopefully he is okay as he's going to go and meet with the trainer. So Brookline will have the free ball here. We'll see what they try to do, if they try and kick it into touch, if they try and just take off and run with it. And they're going to kick it into touch and take the line out. Pretty far into the Weymouth end. Brookline applying some forward pressure here. Durant setting up to throw it in again. I know a bit hard to see through the fans there. And a long throw misses. And that's going to be picked up by the Wildcats. Kelly, a pass missed, and it's taken a wild bounce. And that one managed to not bounce forward, was picked up by number 16, Denny Perez Molina. And now we've got, looks like might be maybe a delayed penalty against Brookline, but still playing the advantage here. Maybe not. Hand signal's gone. Weymouth just playing it. Offload by Farrow. Gets to Radore. Another offload. Gets to Donovan. Donovan wrapped up. But Weymouth back to midfield. As Lawson pass to the right. Running forward with it, Hopkins. And we got a penalty against Brookline here. So Weymouth going to get the free ball. Looks like Michael Farrow, the fly half, going to play it. Again, we'll see if he opts to kick it into touch or if he tries to just take off and run with it. If he wants to do the latter, he's got to kick it out of his hands and to himself. No, they're just going to go for a punt upfield, and they're going to chase it. Farrow giving chase, but it's going to be picked up by Ben Speicher. Speicher avoids one and now gets taken down. Brookline deep in their own backyard here. They want to get out. Toss back there. Running forward with it, I think, is Bacom. Out of the ruck. Hibbard trying to gain control and barely gets the pass back, and Lockwood is going to punt this one into touch. Now that's not off of a penalty. That's in the middle of play, so I think that Weymouth is going to get the line out here, if I'm not mistaken. And indeed, Alex Smith setting up to throw this one in. Throw in is dropped. It's knocked forward, but it's picked up by Hibbard. Anyway, Hibbard tried an offload. And it's going to be a knock forward. That one must have bounced off of a Weymouth player and bounced forward from Weymouth's perspective, which means it'll be a scrum advantage Brookline, and Brookline is very lucky. Dylan Hibbard was very close to being tackled into touch, which would have given the line out to Weymouth. He went for a behind-the-back offload pass there and got a very lucky bounce off a Weymouth player. Hibbard went down head first, so he's going to come off and get briefly looked at by the trainer just to clear him. Again, you don't want to mess around with head injuries. At least I think it was Hibbard that came off. Yeah, it was Hibbard. Benji Brooks now playing the scrum half. Offload pass by Lockwood. Gets to Tunkman as he gets taken down. They set up in the ruck, and Brookline gets bowled over. They're trying to play it. And it's going to go to Weymouth as Brookline was trying to play it on the ground. Ridore barreling forward, stumbling and taken down. But Weymouth now deep in Brookline territory with the ball. Lawson, the pass. Taken down, but a short gain there. Another pass out. Farrow, offload, back. Trying to push forward now, very close to the in-goal area. And they call a penalty on Brookline. Ridore going to self-pass and lower the shoulder, push forward. And I do believe he is in for the try. Naheem Ridore with the successful try for Weymouth to tie us up at 5. And the Wildcats are going to have a easier position to try the conversion kick from, as they scored a little bit closer to the middle than Brookline did. As you kind of have to kick from a spot parallel to where you cross the try line. Sam Farron to attempt the kick here for Weymouth. That kick is up, and it's through. Weymouth takes the lead 7-5 here in the first half, and they will receive the following kickoff. Brookline just struggled with a tough turnover in the ruck deep in their own end, and then Weymouth able to take advantage and muscle their way downfield, and Naheem Ridore taking advantage of the penalty, self-passing and just lowering the shoulder and pushing forward for the try. Short high kick gets to Ridore. He's going to cut towards the middle, try to burst forward, and he ultimately does get taken down there. Weymouth setting up on offense. Lawson the pass back. Hard hit, and Brookline's defense carrying him backwards. And now a punt from Weymouth straight up in the air. Strange trajectory, and it's taken off the brief drop by Weymouth, but I think Weymouth got tackled into touch there. And so Brookline's going to get the line out. Oh, we got another injured player down. That's Isaac Hughes for Brookline. Brookline's had a number of players going down in what's been a hard physical game so far. Durant completes that one to Nygren. Brooks, pass, Krasansky. Taken down there, out of the ruck. A pass off the bounce, Lockwood takes it. That pass let go by Tunkman, but picked up. Now a pass and a juke from Ben Speicher. Down in the ruck now. Brooks, pass to Lockwood, to Durant, and an extra pass missed, but picked up off the bounce by Krasansky. Able to keep it there despite the miss. Brookline's been lucky on a couple of missed passes, as this one, bit of a grubber kick here by Lockwood, but it's going to be fallen on by the Wildcats. Ridore shakes off a tackle, and he's headed down the sideline. Naheem Ridore being chased by Speicher, and he cannot be dragged down. He's going to go all the way. Boy, what a day for Naheem Ridore, as you could see he just kind of pushed aside one tackler and then had nothing but green turf in front of him. And none of the trailing Brookline tacklers were able to get the angle. Second try of the day for Naheem Ridore. And now Farron going to set up for the conversion kick. Tougher angle, longer distance here, as this one scored closer to, I said the sideline, but technically in rugby it's called the touch line. But same basic idea. This kick looks like it was no good, might have been wide right. But Weymouth now leading by 7. Is that halftime or a timeout? And that is the last play of the half, as we will go into halftime with the score: the Weymouth Wildcats 12, the Brookline Warriors 5. Brookline got their lone score so far on this play on the try by Timur Tunkman. But Weymouth has answered back with 2 tries by Naheem Ridore and 1 successful conversion kick by Sam Farron to take the 7-point lead into the half. During this halftime break, I'd like to once again thank our sponsor, Esh Dental. Do you have a tooth that just doesn't look right in photos, too far out, too far back, or maybe one that prevents you from showing that smile at all? The team at Esh Dental has everything you need to get that smile perfectly aligned. Their average Invisalign case lasts about 9 months, and the treatment is practically invisible compared to metal braces. Adults and teens alike get their teeth straightened and their bites aligned with Esh Dental. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can find that link and phone number in the description section down below, as well as a link and phone number for our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the Foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. Your help is crucial to supporting these Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, that's brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And once again, those links and phone numbers are in the description section down below. But for now, we're here at halftime. Weymouth 12, Brookline 5 at Skyline Park. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. Back on the mic, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this high school varsity boys rugby contest between Brookline and Weymouth. Weymouth with a 12-5 lead halfway through. Brookline receives the opening kick of the second half. Nice run forward there by Jamison Young as he gets it back to the middle of the field for Brookline. A pass back to Bacall Hooks as he drags some tacklers for a little bit of progress there. Couple quick passes to the left. Nice juke by Ben Spicer. Gives Brookline a short gain there. Out of there, Dylan Hibbard back in the game after coming off briefly after hitting his head back in the first half. Brookline happy to have him back as their main distributor out of the ruck. Pass back, and Lockwood again winds and boots one across midfield down to the Weymouth end, and it's going to be booted right back. They're playing catch here. Ben Spicer going to try and run with it, though. Pass to Lockwood. Lockwood, nice offload, finds a man who's got some room, and I think he's going to be tackled into touch. Frederick Guerriere tried to run with that one and just ran out of room on that one, and so it's going to be a line out for the Wildcats. Alex Smith to throw this one in. Throw in is complete, and now Weymouth starting on offense. Quick tosses to the outside, Quinn Donovan takes that one forward. Gets taken down out of the ruck. Isaiah Lawson with the pass. Quick takedown there by the Brookline defense. Weymouth going to keep trying to go left. And again, pushed back. Lawson gets the pass away a bit. Hard to see in the sea of bodies there on the far side. Now a pass to the right and taken down. Almost taken out, and now a punt forward by Farron, and it's going to be caught again by Ben Spicer as he's taking off running with it. Gets hit, offload, nice find there. Cutting back towards the middle is number 32, David Perez Lawrence, in off the bench to play here in the second half. Pass out of the ruck, gets to Bacom. Bacom taken down, Hibbard pass Lockwood. Now Hooks. Hooks tried an offload, a bit risky there, but Lockwood makes it pay off. Nate Lockwood, he's got some space. Lockwood taken down deep in Weymouth territory. He pops right back up and keeps going. Now he's stood up and goes down into the ruck. Hibbard just barely gets that pass away to Hooks. Hooks whips that pass. It's barely recovered by Perez Lawrence. Taken down, Brookline barely surviving some of these passes as they just barely get that one out of the ruck to Durant. Weymouth really applying a lot of pressure in the ruck here on this possession, but Brookline still finding some space to move. Pass back to Lockwood and to Bacom. Bacom taken down, into the ruck they go. Hibbard to Lockwood, to Perez Lawrence, to Tunkman. Tunkman wrapped up. Down in the ruck, Hibbard gives to Lockwood. Pass dropped, but it bounces backwards, and it's recovered by Nygren, but Nygren trying to get it away in the ruck. And they're going to say Brookline tried to play that one on the ground. Tough play there as this one's going to be kicked into touch, and Weymouth will have the line out. It was tough there. The pass just dropped, and Nygren not able to pick it up and keep his footing. And it is going to be a line out for Weymouth as they kicked it into touch out of a penalty. Oh, the pass knocked away by Nygren. Oh, and a whistle blows just before that ball was thrown in, as I think a Weymouth player wasn't ready or in position or something. That's tough for Brookline as they were going to take that one away. Now Smith throws, barely completes it. Pass to the left. Farrow gets it to Ridore. Ridore, a nice offload to Donovan. Another offload. Weymouth getting some good passes out to that left side. Finally taken down, but they are now in Brookline territory. Lawson moves it to the right. Tommy Kelly barrels forward with it. And we got a penalty on Brookline there. For the free ball, taking off and running with it is Rebello. And now out of the ruck, the pass to Smith. And now we got a penalty called against Weymouth. And so Speicher going to kick that one into touch. And Brookline will get the line out. So Brookline does take it back, but they're going to be wanting to take it out of their own end here, see if they can flip the field and give themselves a chance at a tying try. Of course, Brookline would need both a try and a conversion to tie things up. And a violation on Brookline on the line out there. And so it's going to be a scrum advantage Weymouth. Lawson getting set to put it in. Kicked back, and it's Kelly taking off with it out of the scrum, and he shoves over a tackler, heading for the try line, and he's in. Tommy Kelly just picked up speed and ran over a couple of defenders, as it's now a 17-5 lead in favor of the Wildcats. That's a tough thing out of the scrum. You can't just be watching the scrum half and seeing where he grabs it, because sometimes a team will let their number 8 grab it and just take off running with it. And a team's number 8, usually a pretty physical player that can really bowl guys over if he's able to build up steam, and Tommy Kelly no exception to that, as we saw with that play there. Farron unable to convert on the kick. 1 of 3 on the conversion kicks so far for the Wildcats. Sorry about that. And it's a 17-5 lead now in favor of the visitors. Brookline did get the first score of the day, but since then, Weymouth has outscored them 17-0. And it all really started with that one really nice sequence that Weymouth had with a bunch of offload passes to their left that got them deep into Brookline territory. The drop kick from Lockwood has a bit of backspin on it, but it is taken off the bounce, I believe, by Ridore there. Down in the ruck, Lawson, the pass, and oh my gosh, a hard bowl over. I think that was Kelly again as he completes the offload pass. Now another pass back. This time it is Hopkins. Now a pass back. Kelly goes for the pass this time to Farrow, and Farrow shakes off the tackler, and he's off and running. Michael Farrow has got room, heading down the right side, finally chased down by David Perez. Lawrence goes down in the ruck. A quick handoff to Ridore. Ridore trying to push it towards the try line. Very close to a score here. Lawson toss. Kelly running through the defenders. Very close. And still close. And finally barreled in. Not sure who was the last one to touch it. I think I see who was the last guy to dive that one over the line. I'm just trying to see his number. Might have been Kelly again, but I'm not sure. All started by a big run by Michael Farrow. And I still just can't see this guy's number. Do you know who scored that try? Number 1? Thank you. The conversion is good, as the try was scored by number 1, Ronaldo Rebello. Sam Farron now 2 of 4 on his conversion kicks, and Weymouth starting to pull away from Brookline here. 2 scores in quick succession, and they have doubled up their scoring total from halftime, as the Wildcats now lead the Warriors 24-5. Kick from Lockwood, right to Ridore. Ridore waving around some tacklers and taken down. Lost in the pass. And that's Rebello, who just scored the most recent try, taken down. Now a toss. This is Hopkins, wrapped up, brought to the ground by a committee there. Now to Farrow, extra pass, and stood up. Hard tackle there by Lockwood. Now they go to the left, and Kelly taken down. Wrapped up there in part by number 45, Ophir Williams. Now a punt forward by the Wildcats. That's going to go into touch during a live ball, so it will be Brookline with the line out. And Brookline has got to find their second win here in the second half, because the past couple possessions, it's looked like Weymouth has just out-muscled them. And we got another Brookline player down. That's Timur Tunkman. It's going to be coming off briefly for Brookline. Subbing in for the Warriors will be number 46, Santi Barahona Barros. Line out, complete to Nygren. Gets back to Hibbard, and a pass. Taken down there is Williams. Out of the ruck. Brookline manages to get the pass away. Barreling forward there is Bacom. And in the ruck, Weymouth really applying pressure, and they do take it away. Ridore offloads to Kelly. Kelly offloads to Farrow. Farrow hit. Big hit by Frederick Guerriere to knock that one loose. But they call a knock forward on Brookline, and it's going to be a scrum advantage Weymouth. That is tough. Frederick Guerriere made a great hit defensively that time, but must have touched it when he was trying to recover it and moved it just a bit forward to get called for the knock forward. Weymouth applying pressure here, trying to get another try, as they have scored 4 unanswered tries since Brookline got on the board first to start the game. All right, here goes the scrum this time, and taking it is Kelly. Kelly offloads back to Lawson. Lawson shakes off one tackle, gets the offload to Farrow, and Farrow is going to barrel in for the try. Michael Farrow, the 4th different player to score a try for the Wildcats, as they now have a commanding 29-5 lead. And again, those offload passes have been done so effectively in open space by the Wildcats their past couple of pushes upfield. And that last sequence really just a perfect example of it. You know, Kelly takes it out of the scrum. Brookline knows he's a threat to move forward, and as soon as he started to get wrapped up, he just offloaded it back to Lawson. And Lawson, the team's main passer as the scrum half, gets the extra offload there. Out to Farrow, who just had enough space to score. Conversion kick is good from Sam Farron. He is now 3 of 5 on his conversion kicks today. 31-5, the Weymouth advantage. Lockwood setting up for the drop kick. Kicked to Ridore again. Taken down there. Lawson pass. I think that's Rebello. Either Rebello or Kelly, I'm not sure. Barrels forward. Lawson now a pass and a grubber kick. Ricochets hard off of several players, and it's ultimately picked up by the Wildcats. That was wild, zany play there. Now this toss back, trying to shake off a couple tacklers is Farrow. He gets taken down. And a penalty called on Weymouth there. And so now Brookline gets the free ball in Weymouth territory. Can the Warriors get back on the scoreboard as Spicer is going to kick this one into touch? We're going to have a bit of a tough view here, as you can see the crowd out in force here, and they're going to be trying to move forward and as close to the touchline as the official will allow them. Max Durant to throw this one in. They fake one. They go for a different ladder, complete the pass. Pass back now to Benji Brooks. Now back to Lockwood. Lockwood back to Ben Spicer. Spicer going to cut upfield and gets wrapped up. Now goes down in the ruck. Brookline now working it to the left. Moving forward, Jung Ha Lee. Happy to see him back in the game. Seems to be okay. A pass to Lockwood, who has to hop over his own teammate. Goes for the grubber kick. Brookline trying to chase it down in the try area. And Weymouth tried for a desperate kick away. Brookline trying to fall on it. Wait, does that count? Did that? That looks like it went out the back touch line there. That must have counted. I didn't get a good replay on that one. I'm not entirely sure what happened. It looked like Brookline got that one out the back there. The kick is put through by Nate Lockwood. So I assume they got the full 7 for that one. Bit of a confusing play, you know. I'm still rugby's one of those sports where I'm still learning, and so you know, learn something new. Every game you learn something new, and that was definitely a situation I have not seen before. I didn't see anyone fully recover that ball, but it bounced out the touch line, out the back of the in-goal area. As kick from Weymouth went into touch, and so Brookline will get the line out. 31-12, I believe, is the score here. They went for a low throw-in, and a whistle is blown. And it's a violation on Brookline. It's going to be a scrum advantage, Weymouth. And that is not something Brookline wants. They turn it over deep in their own end. Did Brookline get the full 7 for that last one? I'm sorry? Did Brookline get the full 7? I don't know what happened. Lawson to put this one in for the scrum. They're going to go back to Kelly again. Kelly, and he reaches forward and has the try. The long kick, the violation on Brookline on the line out, and then a quick reach forward out of the scrum was all that Weymouth needed to get their 6th try of the day. For Tommy Kelly, his 2nd. And Farron's conversion kick no good. So assuming Brookline got the full 7 on that crazy whatever that was play was out of the back, then it's 31-12. You know, if there's any rugby experts in the live chat that want to help me out with that play that Brookline scored on, let me know. Lockwood going for a deeper drop kick this time. Running with it is Donovan as he gets stood up and taken down. Lawson out of the ruck, pass. And Kelly shaking off a couple of tacklers before going down. And we've got another penalty on Weymouth, and Lockwood was trying to just take off and run with it there. But no dice. And it looks like, oh, he might have maybe got called for an infraction on that one, as it's now going to be a scrum advantage, Weymouth. Out of the scrum, Lawson going to take it. Past Farrow, another pass out to the left to Donovan. Donovan, I think, got an extra offload pass away. It was a bit hard to see. Now down in the ruck. They're going to go to the right. And a couple of tackles broken, but now the takedown. Now pass, I believe this is Hopkins. Hopkins with the offload finds a man, faking the pass, and now offloading, finds one of the wings, shaking off a couple of tackles. Finally taken down is Ryan Marquez. And now Lawson, instead of passing, he just takes off and runs with it. He faked Brookline out completely for the try. Isaiah Lawson, the scrum half, all day. He's been taking the ball out of the ruck and passing it, but he's allowed to run with it. And so he just used Brookline's reliance on his usual methods to just fake them out and just sprint upfield with it. And the kick from Farron is going to be short. 3 of 7 on his conversions so far today, as I believe the score is 41-12. But again, I'm not sure how many points Brookline has. What was once such a close game in the first half, turning into a bit of a blowout here as Weymouth just keeps pouring it on. As still running full force there is Kelly. He's already got 2 tries today. And out of the ruck it was picked up, and that's going to be a penalty. I think an offside penalty against Weymouth, against one of their subs, number 24, Dominic Brancaccio. And Brookline going to kick that one into touch and set themselves up with the line out. Fake one, throw in complete to number 21, Jamison Young. Out of the passes, got taken down, now in the ruck. Couple quick passes, an offload dropped and kicked forward, and it's still bouncing around. And it looks like they called it against Weymouth for grabbing a player when he didn't have the ball. So Brookline gets the free ball here. Ben Speicher going to kick that one into touch. Brookline will get the line out deep in Weymouth territory, trying to see if they can get another score. Fake the line out. They go further back again. It is knocked back. Picked up by Benji Brooks. Taken down quickly, down into the ruck. Lockwood going to take it. pass back Durant. Durant wrapped up and brought down. Now Brooks, pass back Lockwood. Lockwood going to go for a short punt here. Interesting strategy. Oh no, a Brookline player is down on a non-contact injury, grabbing his leg. As we're going to have an injury stoppage here. No, we're not. Timur Tunkman is still down as Bikal Hooks running forward with it. Brookline close to the try zone. Durant pass disrupted. But I think he was offsides. Tommy Kelly, or no, not offsides, to knock forward. He hit the ball, but he hit it forward. So meanwhile, Tunkman getting looked at by the trainer as they set up in the scrum, advantage Brookline. It's quite wild that they just kept the action going while Tunkman was still down on the field. Now he is hopping off on one foot. Hope he's okay. You know, hope that best case scenario, maybe it's just a cramp or something like that. Now set up in the scrum. Brooks to insert. Back to Brooks, pass, Lockwood. Now to Ben Speicher. Speicher wrapped up. Down in the ruck. Brooks goes back to number 35. Taken down fast was number 35, who was, I think, not on the roster I was given. Hooks now taken down here as they go down into the ruck. Brooks back to Lockwood. That one dropped and taken away. As they're actually now going to call a penalty, maybe for a high hit or something against Weymouth. Brookline going to get the free ball. Hooks kicks it to himself. Hooks running very close, and he's in. Bikal Hooks reaches it across the line. Just a good, quick burst. Laid the ball down on the ground, kicked it to himself, legal move there, and then just picked it up and ran with it. Bikal Hooks with his first try of the day, as looks like Nate Lockwood setting up for the conversion kick. Brookline was no good on the conversion kick from the first score by Tunkman. Lockwood did send a kick through on whatever that weird play was out of the back line. This kick going to sail wide right. Yeah, he converted on the drop kick afterwards. That much I know. I just wasn't sure if they gave him the full try because it went out the back line. All right, so off that try, that's another 5 points for Brookline, 41-17, as Hooks, fresh off scoring that try, receives the kick from Weymouth, goes down in the ruck. Bit of a rough pass, but it's taken off the bounce by Durant. And now out of the ruck, another rough pass. And I think they're going to call a knock. Oh, no. They're going to call that, I believe, the end of the game. And so that is your final score here at Skyline Park. The Weymouth High Wildcats 41, the Brookline High Warriors 17. Brookline got on the board first with the try by Timur Tunkman in the first half, but from there, Weymouth just went on a absolute scoring tear. First scored 12 unanswered to go into the halftime break with a small 12-5 lead. And then in the second half, it just seemed like Brookline ran out of gas. Weymouth just showing a different level of rugby conditioning, both in terms of, maintaining their fire all the way from beginning to end, and in terms of just executing the fundamentals and the little details, those extra passes, those offload passes as they were getting taken down. So smooth on some of those scoring plays, and Weymouth able to get out to a big lead. Brookline able to get a couple of scores in the second half, but were not able to keep up. Bicall Hooks got one try for Brookline in the last score of the game. And then they had that weird play that bounced out of the back line, which I think went for a full 7 for Brookline. Again, that's something I'm going to double check after the broadcast, again, trying to learn. But Weymouth led on offense by 2 first-half tries from Naheem Radore, 2 second-half tries from Tommy Kelly, and 1 try each from Ronaldo Rebello, Isaiah Lawson, and Michael Farrow, all of those in the second half. Sam Farron was 3 of 7 on conversion kicks for the Wildcats today. And, well, that is going to do it for this live stream, and this is the last rugby game that I am scheduled to cover this spring. Maybe I'll have a chance for some coverage come playoff time if the dates all align. But if not, if this is in fact my last rugby game for 2025, just want to thank the Brookline High Rugby program, the Brookline High Boys Rugby team, for having me back for another couple of games this season. Want to thank head coach Jared Dyke, who organized my coverage, not just of the boys team, but of the girls team as well. Want to thank the fans for tuning in and enjoy it. Thank the players for putting on a great show today. Thank the players for putting on a great show. Thank the fans for continuing to tune in throughout. Want to give a special shout out to a guy who emailed me after one of my girls' games to give me a lot of big pointers on the rules and the terms of rugby. You guys might have noticed I was a little crisper today than I was in the Hanover game, was a little more with it. And that wasn't just because Brookline was wearing clear jersey numbers. I received a lot of helpful information from a guy named Lex, British rugby player and coach, who decided to reach out and email me. So shout out to Lex for helping me out a lot, making me more capable at covering this great sport. And want to thank our sponsor, Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. As this broadcast brought to you in part by Esh Dental. You can see their logo there in the bottom middle of your screen. Do you have a tooth that's been worked on once, twice, 3 times, and it's still giving you problems? Have you been told it's time to give up the fight on that tooth and have it extracted? Hey, it happens to a lot of us. Dr. Esh performs a multitude of procedures to get that infected tooth out and an implant in. All of Dr. Esh's implants are digitally guided, which means the surgery takes place on a digital model of your jaw even before your appointment. Digital implant placement is the safest, fastest, most predictable way to turn that problem tooth into a fixed and beautiful solution. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. You can also see the link and phone number for our local charity Spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. And you can also see some information related to me that you can also see in the bottom right corner of your screen. my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Weymouth 41, Brookline 17. From Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.